Well, hey everybody, Andrew here, back again. Nashville severe weather. We got a new severe thunderstorm warning here for northern Davidson County. This includes Goodlettsville. It includes Bakers and Lutons and Joelton and Ivy Point and those areas up there in northern Davidson County. Let me show you what's going on here real quick. This is a new severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect until 2:45. So about another 30 minutes if this thing holds together. We've got some storms that have really blown up here on the northern side of Davidson County. And let me show you up here. This is Bakers right here, Freeman Hollow Road, Baker Road, Luton community up there. Just over the county line over there in Robertson County as you go up the ridge there toward Ridgetop and Greenbrier. Let me go up in the atmosphere here, and you can see up here at around, this is up at around 33,000 feet. We got like tremendous reflectivities up there. Probably a lot of hail built up in this storm way up high, about 34,000 feet. Well, that's all got to come down. And so as that comes down here over the next few minutes, we're expecting a pretty decent possibility here of seeing some strong damaging winds up here in southeastern Robertson County, but also affecting us here in northern Davidson County as well. So areas like Ridgeview Estates, Baxter Road, Ivy Point, Greer Road, Dry Creek, Union Hill Road, Bakers, Lutons, up here around Tenon Road, and areas like Creek Road. That's Tenon Road that runs up all the way up in there into Robertson County. Areas like that, and then southeastern Robertson County need to probably prepare for some pretty strong gusty winds here over the next little bit, because what happens is this storm is building up in the atmosphere, and it's going to probably come crashing down. So here in a little bit, we expect the radar to really light up here around Greenbrier and Ridgetop, and those winds can make their way pretty quickly over down into Bakers and the northern parts of Goodlettsville, up there around Highway 41, where Main Street comes out of Goodlettsville, Dickerson Road, and runs up the ridge there, and you arrive up there in Ridgetop. Well, we could get some pretty strong gusty winds up all through that area here in the next little bit. So a lot of trees up there along the ridge, and so a lot of roads up there that have trees that could fall over the roads. So be careful driving out there. But man, we're getting like 3-inch. Radar's estimating like 3-inch hail up in the storm. Not saying we're going to get 3-inch hail at the surface. That would be massive hailstones. But radar is indicating the possibility that some of those hailstones could be forming up aloft. And as those come down, of course, they'll melt some on the way down. We could get some severe hail fall up there around Greenbrier and Ridgetop all the way down into Bakers. And so we could see some pretty strong weather here over the next few minutes. So again, severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 2:45. And it's 2:17 right now, and so this thing is hanging on for about another 27, 28 minutes here. So this warning does not include anybody down in like central Davidson County, southern Davidson County, or any of Williamson County. Nobody there is included in all this. You've kind of had your round of storms here a little bit earlier. This only includes areas of northern Davidson County up around Bakers and Goodlettsville and Rivergate and down toward Madison, but not quite. Joelton, you are included. But the meat of the storm, the heart of the storm, is up here in southeastern Robertson County right now. But some of these effects of the strong gusty winds and the lightning and heavy rain and hail could work their way down into northern Davidson as well. So the warning includes all of us here in northern Davidson County as well. Let's take a look at some reports, and this is from earlier. I'm kind of looking around here. We still had some reports filter in from down in, those would be down in southern Davidson County, northern Williamson County a little bit ago. And we expect similar effects up here in northern Davidson County and southeastern Robertson County as this storm kind of falls to the ground here. So up here around Greenbrier, we're starting to see these bright colors show up there on the southeastern sides of Greenbrier down toward Ridgetop. And so right there, if you're kind of familiar with that area, it's the main highway, Highway 41, Dickerson Road, that runs from Goodlettsville up toward Bakers and Lutons, Ridgetop into Greenbrier. And right there in those neighborhoods surrounding the highway there, and then off to the east around Gideon Road, not too far from, I guess, Bethel Road's up that way a little bit further north. But that's right where that storm is right now. Northern Davidson's included in it because we could certainly see some of the effects of the strong gusty winds down in northern Davidson County as well. But we're going to see this radar light up here even more probably around Greenbrier and Ridgetop, and we'll see how far south those effects come. But this is right where Sumner County, Robertson County, and Davidson County all come together is exactly where this storm is. Radar is indicating still winds up in the 2-inch range, possible up there, at least aloft. So winds right now in the area look to be reading at about 30, 35 miles per hour. Definitely looks like could have some some gusty winds up there right now. Those could increase, though, as this storm collapses, because what goes up must come down. And this time of year, these storms can come down pretty quickly. And so right before they weaken is when they kind of give their their last big push, and that's when you can drop some pretty big wind gusts and stuff like that. So that's what we're going to be watching for. Let's see here. I'm going to check some reports. If you have any reports, any tree damage, maybe from the storms earlier, anything like that you're seeing out there, let us know about that. Use hashtag TSpotter over on Twitter. We're going to get that report. We're going to send it right to the Weather Service, and that'll help them make decisions as they issue these warnings today. And they have to issue these things pretty quickly. And so it'll help them make decisions if they can see that the storm is damaging trees are coming down, stuff like that. They'll be able to make decisions as far as their warnings go, and so that's very helpful. So if you see any tree damage, let us know. Lightning starting to stretch to the south of this storm a little bit, over around Baker's. Looks like right around Baker Road, lightning strike there, and then off to the northwest there, Timber Trail Road, some lightning there as well. Quite a bit of lightning as you go right over into Robertson County. Right under the storm, there is quite a bit in the way of lightning up there, and it's a pretty healthy storm. Weather Service says that the storm there over Greenbrier and Ridgetop, it remains very impressive looking on radar, and there's a lot of reflectivity aloft, damaging winds and hail possible when that storm core crashes down, and that's what we expect to happen. These storms don't last too terribly long, and that's good and bad. The bad of it is that when they come down, they can cause damage, and in pretty quick order. And so when this core, let me go up in the atmosphere here, and I'll show you the core. When this core, I mean, this is all the way up at, this is 32,000 feet right here. That's as high as the Nashville radar will tilt there. When that comes crashing down, I mean, that's going to fall through 30,000 feet of heavy rain and hail and come crashing to the ground. It's we have the possibility there around Greenbrier and Ridgetop to get some wind damage. A lot of lightning up there in Robertson County as well. So what are we looking for here in this warning box? Again, the warning box in Davidson County only covers Goodlettsville, Bakers, Joelton, Ivy Point. This is for the northern parts of Davidson County, basically north of Old Hickory Boulevard. So Old Hickory Boulevard's down here around Fontenelle. It stretches over toward Madison. So that's Highway 45, Old Hickory Boulevard there. So this warning is basically from Old Hickory Boulevard, like Davidson Academy, areas like that, to the north. And so downtown's not included, Vanderbilt, Creve Hall, Brentwood, Bellevue, Franklin, none of Williamson County. None of you guys are included in this. This is only up there in the northern parts of Davidson. And what I would expect if I were up there in northern Davidson is the possibility, in other words, don't be surprised if you get some strong 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts that come through like pretty quickly. And you'll know that that's when the storm is collapsing. That's when it's crashing back down to the ground. And hopefully it won't last long, but it's possible that we could get some pretty strong gusty winds up there. It looks like around Bakers now, it looks like we could be getting 40-mile-per-hour winds up there around Bakers, and lightning hitting up there in the hills and hollows of northern Davidson County as well. But winds look to be increasing just a little bit there, seeing some pixels in the 40-mile-an-hour range. They're around Luton's and Bakers and Freeman Hollow, Baker Road up there. There are a lot of trees. If the wind decides to get really strong, there's a lot of trees up there to damage. And so it shouldn't be too hard to find wind damage up that way if there is some strong gusty winds. Austin says he's in Rivergate. Lightning was pretty nasty for a while. Yeah, there was a pretty gnarly storm down there in Rivergate, and things have kind of shifted north of you, Austin, from Rivergate up a little bit further north. But looks like velocities now are still looking around 40 mile per hour there up around Bakers and Luton's. That could get a lot stronger. We'll have to see. Let's go back to reflectivities here. Yeah, let me go up in the storm. Maybe not quite as strong. It's still a strong storm. Don't let your guard down. It might be starting to collapse. So we might see velocities start going up here in the next little bit on our velocities right in this area. This is right where Robertson, Sumner, and Davidson counties come together. And so you've got a lot of hills and hollows up here. Basically, you got Goodlettsville here. You come north out of Goodlettsville. That's where 31W splits off, goes to Millersville. If you stay to the left, you go north of Goodlettsville. You go by the KOA campground there. You got Luton community there, the Baker's Market right there at Old Springfield Pike. And then you go up the ridge. And you go up the ridge and you get right to that elementary school there on the right in Ridgetop. You go through Ridgetop and then you get Greenbrier. So that's right where the storm is and where we would expect to see some of the highest velocities. It looks like it's pushed to the east a little bit now. So heaviest rain at least, and maybe some hail. Yeah, looks like there actually is a good bit of hail in it. So we're looking at correlation coefficient here. When we see this mixture of colors here, that's a pretty good indication when we're getting some heavy rain that there's hail mixed in, because what this product is telling us is that everything that's falling is not necessarily rain, it's something else. And so we also use this to detect debris in tornadic situations. This isn't debris. This is likely hail falling out of the storm there in the far northern tip of Davidson County. And I'll turn the radar off, and you can just see it's mostly, people do live up here, but it's a lot of trees. It's pretty kind of a rural feel up here in northern Davidson County. Southeastern Robertson County there is up on the ridge. And that's right where this hail is falling up here, right in the northern tip of Davidson County, up around Hickory Court, Tenon Road, and places like that. So it looks like we got a hailer up there in northern Davidson County, and it looks like that's going to be pushing off into Sumner County, and then hopefully this thing will start collapsing. Looks like winds there in Millersville as you go over on into Sumner County, still around 40, 50 miles per hour. Probably right around 50 miles per hour there around Williamson Road. Williamson Road comes off the highway there as you go out of Goodlettsville. And right around Williamson Road could be some pretty decent winds over there, right inside Sumner County. So severe thunderstorm warning continues here for northern Davidson County. This is going to be until 2:45, so about another, it's 2:27 now, about another 15, 16 minutes, something like that. Is how long this warning will presumably stay in effect for. Weather Service hasn't said just a whole lot more about this one. They're kind of waiting to see what happens, but looks like we've looking up in the storm. Still got a pretty healthy core with it up there in southeastern Robertson. Ryan over here on Twitter replied to us saying that he's hearing multiple chainsaws in the distance around Holt Road and Nolensville Road area. So he's down around the Lenox area and Davidson County. They had some gusty winds earlier, and so probably had some tree damage around there in Holt Road, Nolensville Road area. Wouldn't surprise me at all. That was a pretty decent storm earlier down in southeastern Davidson County. So it's northern Davidson County's turn now, and we hope that the winds are not that strong, as strong as they were earlier. I'm going to check TBNA here off screen. Weather Service radar is going to have a better look at it. All right, so we can kind of see how the winds have progressed. They're kind of pushing east. Haven't seen anything yet on radar up around severe limits. Right around 50 miles per hour, though. That's still a good gust. Wouldn't surprise me at all to have some 58, 60 mile per hour winds out of this storm. Based on what it looked like up aloft, we posted a little bit ago on Twitter that this storm was very healthy aloft, and that was right as they were about to issue the severe thunderstorm warning. And it was very healthy aloft and was really looking like it could drop some pretty significant winds and hail. And wouldn't surprise me whatsoever to see winds increase in velocity on radar here. Looks like the Weather Service is continuing the warning and for 60 mile per hour winds and maybe some penny-sized hail. So they're going to continue that till 2:45. All right, let's go back to reflectivity here. It's not quite as impressive as it was. We saw some purples mixed in here. Still some very heavy rain, though. Here east of Greenbrier, east of Ridgetop, and right inside Sumner County, and even just a little bit of northern Davidson. So still some gusty winds. Or still some heavy rain. Still some gusty winds. Still a lot of lightning. But we're not seeing as many purples as we were, so that's good. Still seeing some aloft, though. But it looks to me like the core of the storm. The core of the storm looks to be inside Sumner County, not by much, but by some. And so that's good for Davidson, but still wouldn't let your guard down. Looks like we could still have some strong winds there inside Davidson County. But clearly it looks like the border here is this white line. And it looks like the strongest winds have now moved into Sumner County, if radar has a good read on this. But man, you just see all the white dots. There's tons of lightning in this thing. Tons of lightning. Let's check on the hail possibilities here. Maybe still some hail in it just inside Sumner County. I wouldn't call that a ton of hail, but looks like there is some hail possible there inside Sumner County. All right, yeah, clearly the strongest of the storm does now appear to be over in Sumner County. So again, here's your border here of Davidson. Let me turn the radar off. Your border here is this white line. So here's Luton's. You know where that is if you're going out of Goodlettsville, Bakers. And it looks like now the strongest part of this is going to be over in Sumner and Robertson counties. Let's check the velocities, though, again. Let's kind of watch the velocities here. And it looks like the strongest velocities have now moved through Davidson. Winds look to have calmed down there around Bakers and Luton's and Freeman Hollow. So whatever wind you had, it looks like, according to radar, now you can tell me differently, but it looks like things have calmed down some there. And still a storm back to the west. It doesn't look as impressive. Looking up in the atmosphere here. Looks like clearly the core of these storms is going to be over here in Sumner County. So things are shifting quite a bit over into Sumner. We're looking up in the atmosphere here. Pretty impressive cores up there. And so that's going to be all over there in Sumner. And it looks like things might start winding down here in northern Davidson here pretty soon. So it's 2:33. The severe thunderstorm warning lasts until 2:45. And we'll see how long they let this go for. They might let this go for a while because it's awfully close to Davidson. But it looks like the core of it has moved inside Sumner and maybe southeastern Robertson. Let's talk about reports just for a second. If you see any tree damage, anything like that, the primary thing is going to be wind. I think you'll find mostly wind damage out there today if there is damage. You might also see some hail, but you probably had to catch that pretty quick as it was falling because it'll melt pretty quickly out there today. But if you did see some hail falling, if you would compare that to the size of a coin, perhaps, and send that to us using hashtag TSpotter. Send us a picture, let us know where you are, and we will get that over to the Weather Service. But if you see any wind damage, in fact, the Weather Service just sent out a report of the a little bit earlier, 4 miles northwest of Nolensville there. They're on TSpotter, where we send our reports. There was a report of a tree down in the Owl Creek area of Brentwood. And so that's the kind of reports we need. We need those reports. The Weather Service gets those. They use those, and they're very helpful. So if you see that today down where any of the storms have occurred, but more recently up there in the northern part of Davidson County, so Joelton, Bakers, Luton's, Freeman Hollow, Ivy Point, places like that, if you see that, or even if you're watching us over in Robertson County or Sumner County, let us know if you see those reports, because those reports all go to the same place no matter what county they come from. So let us know where your report is, and we will get that over to the Weather Service. And that's very useful to them. All right, yeah, things winding down, it looks like, for northern Davidson. I would not be surprised. It wouldn't shock me if there still were some gusty winds that fell out of this storm that made it over to eastern Davidson, or northern Davidson, because, just your proximity there is pretty close to Millersville and White House, where the kind of the core of the storm is. But so as it falls apart, it's possible you could still get some gusty winds and maybe even severe winds up in the 60 mile per hour range. But it looks like things might be winding down, hopefully, for northern Davidson here pretty soon. Looks like a new warning is going to come out for, that's going to be for Sumner County. So Weather Service is going to include more of Sumner County in a severe thunderstorm warning up there because the storm's sort of reorganizing and sort of morphing, and the strongest part of it is clearly over in Sumner County now, and the Weather Service is going to go ahead and pop a warning on that thing over there, and hopefully that's an indication that things might be calming down up there in northern Davidson. Let's go down here to Williamson County. We got some storms developing over there in Williamson County, and those have really come up in the last 10 or 15 minutes. So southwestern Williamson County, it looks like you might be in on the fun again down here for some more storms, and might have a little bit of hail over here and right along 840. Looks like the storms are starting to get their act together. Let me go up in the atmosphere here and kind of look at the health of these things. And they're definitely increasing in size. I'm not sure how strong they'll get. It looks like maybe even one of them starting to come down a little bit. So this might be as strong as they get right here along 840 in southwestern Williamson County. That's going to be around Greenbrier. That's the Williamson County Greenbrier down in the southwestern corner of the county, down towards Smarden and the Natchez Trace, Craigfield, Pinewood Road, Garrison Springs, Boston, places out there along 840. So it might be possible that these get a little stronger. I don't see indication of that yet. Right now, they're sort of under control, so we'll keep an eye on that. New severe thunderstorm warning came out there for Sumner. We'll check on that in a minute. There it is. So the new one does not include Davidson County. That's good. So we'll see if they hold this on for another 7-8 minutes or so for northern Davidson. But clearly things have weakened there in the northern part of Davidson County, and the primary show is over there in Sumner County, Trousdale County, and Macon County now. So that is good news for us, not so great for them. So let's go back down here. Again, this warning is in effect for Davidson County until 2:45. Let us know what you find up there, what you see as far as potential tree damage, any kind of hail that you saw falling, anything like that. Hashtag T-Spotter is the place to send that. But to be honest with you, the strongest storm right now is down in southwestern Williamson County between our two counties. And as this storm up here, everything within the boundaries of northern Davidson County has weakened. And the strongest storms now appear to be down here in southwestern Williamson County. A lot of lightning with these. A lot of lightning around 840. So this is going to be 840 between Thompson Station and Fairview. And coming up right up Highway 100 there into Fairview off the interstate is where these storms are. Let me check on any other notes from the Weather Service. No. Okay, nothing new with them. We'll be listening to see if they add any other comments here. So the newest storms here in western Williamson County, that's going to be probably coming into Leapers Fork. So anybody in western Williamson County, between the Natchez Trace Bridge, Franklin, Thompson Station, Leapers Fork, Fairview, all you guys out of the pool, Fairview, y'all are getting some pretty close lightning strikes already before the rain gets there even. So, out of the pool, everybody. You don't want to be on the out in the pool or anything like that, on the golf course or anything like that today. For the next little while there in western Williamson County, as these storms move to the north, really the northeast. So Fairview, Leapers Fork, Natchez Trace, Bridge, Franklin, Thompson Station. If these things hold together and move northeast, keep moving northeast, I would expect that you'll get some rain and thunder and lightning out of this. Could be some hail in it. I don't, the core is fairly healthy. Yeah, the core's fairly healthy, so you could get a little bit of hail out of this. Radar's indicating a little bit over an inch in diameter, which would be quarter size. I don't think that we'd be seeing that at the ground. I'd be shocked if we're seeing that size hail at the ground with that storm, but that's what radar's indicating, but I don't think that's a big possibility right now. Again, that storm down there in Williamson County is not warned. No evidence yet that it needs a severe thunderstorm warning with it. And it may not for the duration. We'll have to see. Okay. So severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect up there in northern Davidson. The bulk of that storm has clearly moved over into Sumner County. They've issued a new warning with it over there. So northern Davidson County, you're looking in pretty good shape. And the warning's in effect for another 5 minutes, but you're looking pretty good up there within the confines and within the boundaries of Davidson County. Now, right as you move over into Sumner County or even in southeastern Robertson County, it's still a little rough. And especially over there in Sumner County where you have a new warning in effect. But for Davidson County, we're looking a lot better than we were. So we'll keep an eye on things. Still some new storms popping up back to the west over in Cheatham County. That's going to be around Pleasant View as you take I-24 out to the west. Pleasant View, Ashland City. Those, things are kind of moving east today. So they developed off of this outflow boundary. There's an outflow boundary right here. This time of year, the outflow boundaries are really what make storms. If you're looking for kind of a place that if you had to guess and throw a dart at a place that might get a thunderstorm in this time of year, find your outflow boundaries, which is this blue line here, and that's where you're going to be throwing your dart and guessing on where the storm's going to develop. That's where these have come from. So these storms have come from this outflow boundary. And looks like we have some new storms developing with fairly healthy cores out there in Cheatham County. So these might move east and affect northern Davidson County again. They may fall apart before they get here. We're just going to have to watch. But there is lightning out there in Cheatham County, and that's going to be pushing east. So Joelton, you guys around I-24 in Joelton, Baxter Road, Beeman Park, y'all would be the first within Davidson County to get these storms out there in Pleasant View. All right, let's go back down to the south here, and let's go back down to the south. These storms in Williamson County, these things are really cranking out the lightning. All right, so down here around Craigfield, down here around Younger Creek Road and Shoals Branch Road. This is a beautiful rural area of Williamson County, just a beautiful place. Green Chapel Road, this is down not too far from the Natchez Trace Parkway, and Smarden and Garrison Springs and Greenbrier, the Williamson County Greenbrier, the Pinewood Road exit there, where the Williamson County dump is, and Pinewood Road's a beautiful road too. So that area is where there's a lot of lightning and quite a few positive strikes, which will really rattle your house, and they're pretty loud and very dangerous. So new storms developed out here in southwestern Williamson County, and those are moving to the northeast and will be affecting areas like Leapers Fork, Fairview, Thompson Station. Let's go up in the storm here, and it looks like the storms are developing even further southeast. So it looks like we have new storms developing down to the southeast of the line. So around Thompson Station, Spring Hill, wouldn't be surprised if the storm extends even a little bit further down to the southeast and develops around Spring Hill. I'm going to look up in the storm here. So kind of the newest cell is right there around Carter's Creek Pike, right there at the exit at Carter's Creek and the gas station and the pretty area down there around Boston. So that's where the newest storm is developing. And those are all going to be pushing to the northeast. Let me check some notes here. Yeah, okay. So severe thunderstorm warning up there in northern Davidson County is going to expire here in, 30 seconds. So we will be warningless at that point, which is good. So northern Davidson County, things have moved out of your area. Northern Davidson is good. That polygon will disappear here in about 30 seconds as that warning expires. So that's what brought us on here. Still some lightning, though. A nice positive strike. struck around Goodlettsville there, right there near downtown Goodlettsville, just in the last couple of minutes. So the lightning is still a threat, even inside Davidson County up there in the north, and could have another storm coming in from Cheatham County. Lightning is still going to be a threat for a while up there in northern Davidson County, so don't let that go, even though the rain has let up a lot. Maybe the winds have calmed down and that kind of thing. Lightning's still going to be a threat up there. Lightning definitely a threat down here in southwestern Williamson County, and so we're going to keep an eye on that for a while. Hey, we're going to go cover this over on Twitter. The polygon has disappeared out of Davidson County, and so we are warningless in Davidson and Williamson counties, but we're going to keep an eye on these storms because they're going to continue to bubble up. They're going to continue to fire, maybe drop some gusty winds, a lot of rain, and a lot of lightning. So if you have any reports of damage to trees or any hail that fell that you can compare to a coin, send us a picture of that. We would love to know that. We would love to have your reports. Hashtag T-Spotter on Twitter. We'll get that over to the Weather Service, and they'd like to know about it. We'd like to know about it, and those are very useful. So let us know what severe damage you see or what hail has fallen, and that'll be very helpful. Storms moving back into northern Davidson County, but appear to be non-severe right now. And then we're keeping an eye down here in southwestern Williamson on storms that don't appear to be getting any stronger, but they are continuing to develop, moving up northeast toward Franklin, Natchez Trace Bridge, Leapers Fork, Thompson Station, Fairview, and maybe if they hold together all the way up into Davidson County. We'll have to see. Hey, you guys have a good afternoon. We'll be over on Twitter. We'll